Trap, film directed and written by M. Night Shyamalan. This film stars Josh Hartnett as Cooper, a dad who takes his daughter Riley, played by Ariel Donahue, to a concert to see her favorite singer, Lady Raven, who's played by M. Night Shyamalan's real-life daughter, Salika Shyamalan. Hopefully I'm saying her name right. And they realize during the concert that there is a trap set for the Butcher, a serial killer out there who is killing people, and the police were tipped off that the Butcher is at the concert attending it, and they set up a trap in order to stop him. And we realized during the movie, you see this in the trailer, that Cooper is the actual Butcher who tries to escape the concert. The film is an hour and 45 minutes and is PG-13. Welcome back to a brand new review here on Max Talks Movies. My name is Max, and we're talking about Trap. If you're new to the channel, I do movie and TV show reviews, movie franchise rankings, out-of-theater reactions, and I do a box office show every single week. So get us 230 subscribers by subscribing and ringing that bell for notifications so you're notified when my new videos drop. Comment down below, what are your thoughts on M. Night Shyamalan as a director? What are your favorite M. Night movies? What are your least favorite M. Night movies? And if you've seen Trap, let me know. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Were you spoiled by people who already seen it? Let me know in the comments. And also, please like the video, guys, the thumbs up button. So I have reviewed a couple of M. Night's movies on this channel. I reviewed, I believe, just Old and Knock at the Cabin. And then I also reviewed his daughter Ishana's movie earlier this year, The Watchers. But for me, being from Philly, it's very cool to see someone from Philly make it this big in Hollywood. And M. Night's a one who he makes original films, usually with a monster twist. And for me, he's very much a mixed bag. There are times where he makes some of the best movies ever with, films like The Sixth Sense, Split, Unbreakable, Signs. But then he makes other movies like After Earth, Avatar: The Last Airbender, Old, that leave a lot to be desired. The Happening, they leave a lot to be desired. But I always get usually excited for M. Night because his movies usually have interesting premises and it's original filmmaking. Other than Avatar: The Last Airbender, he really doesn't make any IP related movies. He makes original premises and kind of runs with that. So let's get, and also the trailer for this was awesome. One of my favorite trailers of the year. So I was pumped to see this movie. So let's get my thoughts. Again, no spoilers. So for me, Trap will go down for me as one of the most frustrating and disappointing movies of the year. Now, as I say that, it doesn't mean that I think this is a bad movie. I do think that this is an above average film for multiple reasons. The star and the MVP of this movie is Josh Hartnett, who obviously is now becoming a force in Hollywood. He's been in Hollywood for now over 2 decades. But with the success of his work in Oppenheimer, he's been getting a lot more bookings recently in Hollywood, which is really cool, and he's a really terrific actor for a long time. And he is magnificent in this movie because if you haven't seen the trailers, and even if you have seen the trailers, he does a really good job that you can buy that he's both a dad who cares about his kid, but also being a serial killer. And there's something fascinating about this character that grips you from the moment he's on screen in the movie. Because again, if you've seen the trailer or not, something feels off the moment, the way he interacts with people, the way he even interacts with his daughter. And then once he realizes that there's a trap in play for him, things start to go all over the place in the concert. And Hartnett just plays it to a T. You can tell he's clearly, one, having a lot of fun, but he's also just giving it his all. And as I said, the key thing with this performance is buying that this crazy nut job, serial killer like person is also a dad who's taking his daughter to a concert, not even thinking a trap is in place. And I think that you can buy both sides of that. And what elevates this movie then probably it should be is Hartnett's performance, because he is so excellent in the movie. Now, overall, the movie is very well acted. Ariel Donahue, who I wish had more to do towards the back half of the movie, but the way she is in the first 2 acts of the movie, the character of Riley, is also a very tough character to get right, but she's also in the movie a lot more than I expected, and Riley's a very interesting character because she doesn't know anything that's going on with her dad, but she's basically seeing her Taylor Swift, something like that, and she's very good in the movie. Salika Shyamalan, who is who plays Lady Raven. Obviously, as I said, M. Night's daughter, who's a singer. All of the songs are her music in the movie. And I'll say this, the music is very strong in the movie, in the concert scenes. And then she definitely gets to act a lot more than I thought. I thought she was just going to be used as the, the person doing the concert, but she has to do a lot more than I thought in the movie. And I think she did also a very good job buying her as both a pop culture sensation, but also a real person. And I think Salika Shyamalan did a very good job with that. Also, as I said, the first hour of this movie is pure genius. It's fantastic. I was gripped. I was fascinated in the movie. When I thought the movie was in the trailer, I got in the first hour of the movie. I was on the edge of my seat, guessing what would happen next. Sometimes it would go in that direction. Sometimes it wouldn't. There was such intensity building up as we're basically in the concert for 70% of the movie. And the whole movie that's part of in the concert is awesome. And it was exactly what the movie should have been for the entire runtime. But it was thrilling. It was edge of your seat, very well acted, unpredictable, and intense. And that was the first hour of this movie. But this movie is an hour and 45 minutes. And for me, the last 40 minutes of this movie just didn't come together for me, because for me, it just seems like the premise was so genius, but they kind of ran out of things to do. Hartnett's character, who's a very compelling character, it just seems like for the plot conveniences, he has to be this guy who escapes too many situations in the movie. And there are a couple of them that don't make any sense, how people didn't know how he could get out of the situation. I'll just say that. I'm not going to spoil the movie. They did not want to show this movie to critics for a particular reason. I think people were rumored saying for a big twist. This movie isn't going for like a Sixth Sense level plot reveal or twist. But when the reveals do happen in the movie, this is for me M. Night's biggest weakness when he does these plot reveals or twists. He talks to the audience instead of showing us things that happened. And this movie does that. The last 30 minutes for me is just a lot of pure exposition as it pertains to reveals. They just, out of character, they're just explaining things to the other person. And as a character, it doesn't make logical sense because the other character wouldn't know, or other characters wouldn't know. The audience needs to hear the reveals, but I feel like the characters in the moment wouldn't be saying that to each other. So from an audience perspective, I think they should have just shown the reveal and the reveal or reveals in the movie instead of a character or characters talking to us. And I think when M. Night's twists are really good is when they are more subtle and, again, our show don't tell. I think those are the best twists to me, but this movie is more tell than show. And I think it really undercuts the third act of the movie. And other than also in the third act, I just left the theater unsatisfied. I just felt like, sure, that was the ending. And that's how I feel about the movie. I just think, yeah, it's passable. It's okay. It's very well made, very well acted. In the first hour, the premise is genius. The first hour is enthralling and exhilarating to watch. But once things kind of get out of hand, I think the movie itself kind of gets out of hand and lost and confusing, and a lot of plot conveniences that have to happen to keep the plot moving forward. So I'm sorry to say that I'm very disappointed in Trap. This is far from a bad movie. There's more positives than negatives with this movie because it's so original and different. But some of M. Night's weakest flaws, dialogue, especially with the reveals in the third act of the movie, and just where the story goes, it just left me unsatisfied. So overall, I'm going to give Trap a 3 out of 5 stars. I'm going to go 62% for Trap. It's okay for me, but what are your thoughts on Trap? Let me know in the comment section down below. Like the video, subscribe, and I'll be here with more videos coming soon.